Hey everybody, it's Eric again. I'm going to do something a little different today than I usually do for my YouTube channel. I'm going to try and cover how to install a patch panel, sheet metal repair panel on my F-250 that I use to tow the drag car with. I'm going to show you here, and hopefully you can see how this is all rotting out, the rust is coming through. So I have a repair panel, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut all that out, and we're going to put the repair panel in, weld it in, fill it in, and get it in primer. Hopefully today get this all done, and I'm going to try and take you step by step through the process. So I'm going to get started and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we got the panel laid out. We traced it onto the truck, and now we have two lines. So you're going to see here you have your outside cut line here, or where the panel is going to end. It came in 1/4 inch. That's where you're going to want to cut, or at least have your opening to that line, because you're going to want lip, because you're going to need some of the old panel to either weld or pop rivet onto when you put the new panel on. So you can't remove right to the edge. You need to leave 1/4 inch, and remember, we're going to bevel it with the beveling pliers, so that way we get a nice finish on this here. So I'm going to go ahead and start cutting it out, and then we're going to see where we're at, and then we're going to go over beveling and hopefully get this panel on. All right guys, anyway, got further here, got this all cut out and ground, so I'm going to show you how this all looks real quick. So bear with me here. You can see we have all this. See if I can get how much is cut out of the truck. Pretty big amount. We have this here all cut out across the top, and we come down here. Now we're gonna have a problem though, and I tried to cut some of the panel back, but we're kind of real close here to the fuel tank doors. Apparently they didn't have an option for dual fuel tanks, so we're gonna have to fix that when we get there. You can also see here, I don't know how well, the inner fender well liner was rotted out pretty good too, so I had to remove probably a good half of that away, so I'm gonna have to fabricate some for that. But for right now, we're just gonna focus on getting this repair panel on. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get the crimping pliers here shortly, and I'm just gonna go over a little bit of how to use the crimping pliers, crimp the whole perimeter of this, and hopefully we can get maybe 3 or 4 pop rivets in this thing to hold it in place, and then we'll start welding. All right, so I'll be back in a little bit. All right, so now I got the crimping all the way done around the edge. I don't know how well you can see here. I'm going to try and show, but right here, I don't know if you can see, there's a lip there now for the panel to fit into, so it fits more snug. So this is how the pliers, you just put it in like that, you crimp it down, you just work your way down your seam edge. You do the whole panel like that, and then that way when you hopefully, if it works out the way it should, then the panel should fit in, should be able to pop rivet it, should be nice and flat, so you only have to use minimal amount of body filler to get it nice and smooth, to get it ready for primer and eventually ready for paint. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat some of the rust that's on the under panels and stuff, do some undercoating, and then we're going to trial fit that panel, and I'm going to show you some tips on how to put that on and try and make it that it's more waterproof. Alrighty, so we'll see you in a little bit. Alright, we're back here. I got the panel on, as you can see, onto the truck. It's just pop rivet on, I didn't bother welding it. I don't know how well you can see right here. What I did was I put some RTV sealer on the lip before I put it together. So that helps keep out any moisture, so that way when you put the body filler in, it doesn't attract the moisture and cause it to rust through. So I went around the whole perimeter here of that, as you can see. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tack weld it. Then after we're done with that, we're going to sand it, and then we're going to start putting body filler and primer on. So that's going to be the next step, and I'll be right back. All right guys, back, got the panel on, and I got a pop rivet and I got it spot welded on. See, you can see it's got it tack welded at some spots, making sure we have a good gap. Try and keep it tight, try and keep it positioned. It's a little rough. I'm gonna show the back here. We had a little issue at the back, which I'm gonna have to feather out up here, but that's what we got. I'm gonna grind it down and get ready for primer. Or I should say body filler. That's going to be the next thing we're going to do. Grind everything off real nice, put some filler on it, and get it ready for primer. Unfortunately, I'm running short on time, so I'm going to show you what I'm going to kind of cheat a little bit since I did the other side. So when we're done putting the filler in, this is what we're going to have is right here. This here is the finished product. As you can see, the same type of panel. You can see with this, with even just something as simple as a palm sander, it's really, you can get yourself a nice finish. And then I would actually probably wet sand that or with some 400 grit sandpaper, and then make sure it's good and dry. And then you would be ready to paint that. And if you're going to paint the whole panel, do the whole panel with 400. Or if you're just going to try and blend it in just that area, you can do that however you want. So that's a little quick how-to on put a panel through, repair panel on. It was a little quick, a little choppy, but hopefully that helps get you the gist of some of the steps you need to do, some of the tricks, tips that you can use to put a repair panel on your own vehicle. So please like and subscribe, leave a comment. If you have a better idea, I would love to hear about it. And you can hit me up at ericsnyder802@gmail.com or put it in the comments down below. All right, so everybody take care, watch out for each other, and get out there and do some work. See ya.